that I mustn't rely on you.
Yes. Oh, I'll play it as straight as I'm allowed, but I can't guarantee I'll always be what you want me to be. Hi. Looking for someone?
No. I'm sorry, I thought this was my room.
Oh, well, that's an easy mistake to make. They all look the same. Well, come on in and visit. You must be new around here too.
Yes, I suppose I am.
Are you feeling all right?
This is Kate, and I'm Sandy, which is better than being dirty. Want a cup of coffee? What do we call you?
Linda. Linda Goldman.
Have you been here long, Linda?
No.
Just seems like forever, huh?
Yes.
Kate, what do you want?
Milk, no sugar.
Linda? What do you want?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I mean, there's no point, is there?
Mrs. Morris?
Yes, Kate, what's the problem?
Have you seen Linda Goldman?
Well, not lately. She's been in solitary.
Well, I think someone ought to see her, and soon. She's in a terrible state.
In what way?
In my opinion, I'd say she was on the verge of a breakdown.
Oh, come on, she's just been in solitary. Some women take it harder than others. She'll be all right in a little while.
I tell you, I've seen the symptoms before. She needs urgent medical help.
And I've seen the symptoms. And I tell you, you're overreacting.
If I had a patient on the outside in her condition, I'd make sure she received treatment.
But this isn't the outside, and she's not your patient. Now, I told you this morning things are different in here. A member of staff will make those decisions, not a prisoner.
You also said you were here to help. Maybe you were an officer here too long. Maybe you can't tell when help is really needed.
Hello, Linda, how are you? Linda?
Pardon?
I said, how are you? I just ran into Kate Peterson in the corridor. She's worried about you.
Kate Peterson?
She shares with Sandy Edwards?
Oh, yeah, I just had coffee with them a little while ago. They seem very nice.
So I think you'll find a lot of them are, if only you try and make friends with them. I do understand how difficult it is to cope the first few weeks you're here. But you've just got to try and forget the past and what it was like out there.
How can I forget the past? It was such a waste, such a stupid waste.
That's the very reason you should try to forget it. There's nothing you can do about it now.
Come in.
I'm sorry to bother you, Mr. Fletcher, but Peterson insists on seeing you. I tried to put her off, but she's demanded her rights.
What's it all about, do you know?
Well, I tried to get her to tell me, but she wouldn't. She said she'd only speak to you.
All right, show her in then.
Peterson?
Thank you for seeing me, Mr. Fletcher. I wouldn't have bothered you, but I do consider it to be serious.
Well, how can I help you?
Well, it concerns one of the other prisoners, Linda Goldman.
Well, what about her?
Apparently, she's just come out of solitary confinement.
That's correct.
Well, Mr. Fletcher, I don't know if you've seen her, but that girl needs help, and quickly. She's under severe mental strain, and if something isn't done soon, she could go over the edge.
I see. Well, I appreciate your concern, but, well, she has been in solitary confinement, and it does have a bad effect on people, but I'm sure you'll find it's only temporary.
I'm sorry, but I don't think you're right. I am a qualified doctor, and I've had the chance to study her at close range. She shows all the signs of severe melancholia, psychotic depression. She needs urgent psychiatric assessment.
I see. Well, thank you for bringing it to our attention. I'll certainly look into it.
Thank you. Believe me, I'm not overreacting, as Mrs. Morris said I was. I have seen all the symptoms before.
You've already spoken to Mrs. Morris?
Yes, for all the good it did.
I see. Well, as I said, I'll look into it.
Are you busy?
No, come in, Meg, please.
Is that about Linda Goldman?
Yes, it was. Take a seat. What's your opinion?
Well, she is showing signs of distress, but under the circumstances, I think it's only normal. She hasn't settled down yet.
I see. Well, do you think we could bring in Dr. Weissman?
No, not at the moment. I'd be more inclined to wait for a day or two and see how she is then.
Right. Well, I'll go along with you for the time being. We'll see her again in a day or two, and if there's no improvement, we'll certainly do something about it.
I'm sure she'll be all right. I'm not a doctor, but But I do know prisoners.
Have a nice little chat with the governor, did you?
As a matter of fact, I did.
Really? And what was that fascinating bit of information that you passed on that was only good for the governor's ears?
It was confidential.
Yeah, I bet it was. Do you know what we call passing information onto the screws? It's called lagging. And anyone doing it is liable to find themselves bashed in a quiet corner.
That's right. Now, either you're going to tell us what you said to the governor, or we're going to take it for granted that you lagged. All right, girls, lay off.
Butt out of this, Sandy. She's a lagger.
I was not lagging, as you put it. I was just trying to help one of the women who's sick.
I bet you were. You were trying to get in good with the screws.
God. Don't do anything silly, Judy. Just take a friend and move along. No fuss, huh?
Thank you.
What were you talking to the governor about? Linda?
Yes.
Well, why didn't you tell them? You could have saved yourself a lot of trouble.
They didn't give me the chance. Anyway, it's none of their business.
Well, it looks like I'm going to have to teach you how to look after yourself, because I'm not going to be around all the time, you know.
Can I help you?
Yes, I'd like to see my daughter, please.
And a name?
Goldman. Linda Goldman.
I see. Well, if you'd like to sign on in that book there, I'll get your daughter and I'll bring her to the interview room. Julie, would you get someone to bring Mr. Goldman to the interview room when he's finished signing, please?
Hi. You must be B. Smith. I'm Sandy Edwards.
Yeah, I sort of guessed that.
I hear the press is usually your job.
That's right. Any objections?
No, thanks. I've heard too much about you.
Well, you can always try if you're feeling lucky.
After what Mari Winter told me about you, I'd have to be a dill. She said you're the top dog. That's good enough for me.
Mari Winter, eh? How long are you in for?
22 years. Or so they say. But I'll be out long before that.
What escape.
No, that's for mugs. I've got a much better way. And it's all legal. It's all in the way you handle the screws. You see, you come in here and make out you're a right troublemaker. Then over the next few years, you settle down. Play the game. Let them think they've rehabilitated you. Then they put you up for parole, and you show them you've seen the error of your ways. And they let you out. Then you're back on the outside and you pick up where you left off. Do you want your press back now?
No, thanks. You can have it for a while. I prefer it working up in the library. It's a lot more peaceful. And besides, I'm fed up with fighting other people's battles for them.
Goldman. Goldman, you've got a visitor. Your father. Well, I've taken him to the interview room. Now come along.
No, I won't see him. Send him away.
Why? He seems a very nice man.
He is. He's the nicest man I've ever known.
Then see him. Now, don't hurt him anymore.
That's why I won't see him. I've already hurt him more than he deserves. He's got to forget about me.
Look, why don't you see him just this once and tell him yourself? I mean, he's come all this way.
No, I couldn't. It just wouldn't be fair on him. Can you just tell him I said goodbye?